Chapter 1. Tips 1 to 5. Tip 1. Yes, sleeping in the jungle is possible. A friend who traveled from the United States to Manaus told me that her fellow passengers were largely tourists, but upon arrival at the airport, almost everyone was whisked away by tourist agencies eager to take them directly to the rainforest, which is indeed the main attraction of Manaus. As a result, it's unusual to see many tourists in the city. Some places inside the jungle, not too far from the city, are equipped with all manner of facilities to receive tourists, from floating hotels to bare-boned camps of tents and hammocks. How comfortable you will be will depend on how much you're willing to spend. But whether you're sleeping in a comfortable bed or just on a thin mattress inside a tent that gets a bit wet when it rains too much, in both, you'll be staying in the heart of the Amazonian forest, experiencing nature, hearing and watching animals roaming free, and gazing at ancient giant trees and exotic flowers. The tours range from safaris to walking trails, boat trips, fishing for piranha, visits to waterfalls, and any other activities you could imagine you could do in a jungle. Most of them include meals. There are also one-day trips, which allow you to pay for as many days as you want to. If you're interested in one of these, you should do some internet research in advance. But be sure to verify the tour company is authentic, or wait until you arrive in Manaus and go downtown, where there are many offices that will gladly explain to you the many options and what's included in each. Tip 2. Make sure you have all required vaccines. For international traveling, the authorities at your destination will require proof of vaccination for certain diseases, vaccinations that are probably not necessary at home. So find out what you need and keep proof of vaccination with your documentation, because you're likely to be asked for both at the airport upon arrival. The specifics will depend on the country from which you departed and your destination. Manaus is a city like no other, and being so close to a rainforest, the higher the risk and probability of infection with tropical diseases that occur more often in hot and humid conditions. Just carefully follow your doctor's recommendations, and you should have no worries. Tip 3. Get a local SIM card. If you want to use your cell phone while in Manaus, you can get a local SIM card, but you can't buy it in an authorized store because an authorized store won't sell you one without proof of Brazilian residency, meaning a local ID. If you're not staying more than 6 months in the city, you're probably not anticipating getting a local ID. It's not illegal for a non-resident to buy a local SIM card, so look for one in a kiosk or in a local store. I used to say, Google Maps is my shepherd. I shall not want for directions, because everything is easier online. A translator app will help you survive North Brazilian Portuguese, and Google Maps will keep you from getting lost. Additionally, you can research local tourist attractions or study the history of a place if there's no information in English. Some places in downtown offer free Wi-Fi, but its reliability can be spotty. One thing I wish I'd known in advance is to put my phone on airplane mode when I was not using it. When not on airplane mode, your phone is constantly uploading and downloading information and consuming data, which uses up your data plan and incurs roaming charges. So try not to spend too much time online so you can make the best of your trip and enjoy the moments and small details you might miss if you are constantly on your phone. Tip 4. How to get to the airport. If you're trying to save money by avoiding taxis, whether you arrive in Manaus at the airport or at the main bus station, several buses can take you directly to downtown. From the airport parking lot, take bus number 306. The airport is far from downtown, and it will take you at least an hour by bus to get there. It can be an uncomfortable trip, carrying your luggage and standing for the first time in the heat. However, taking the bus is far cheaper than taking a taxi. To return to the airport, you can use the same means of transportation. As a bonus, the return trip will seem more familiar. Some ride-hailing apps, such as Uber, are also available. These are generally much cheaper than taxis and only a 30-minute trip if there is no traffic. Tip 5. The best time to visit. Being in the Amazon means many and frequent changes in the weather. Winter is from November to March, although winter in the tropics is more like rainy season. Even in winter, the city is very hot. The only difference between winter and summer being that it rains all the time in winter and only some of the time in the summer. And for Manaus, rain is the only way for the city to refresh itself. The river rises and floods trails, making some places in the rainforest accessible only by boat. It's also normal in winter to have a strong storm, and 30 minutes later, the sun comes out and the air feels stuffy. The humidity can sometimes make going out almost unbearable. But don't be concerned. There will still be carnival, no matter how high the humidity. Summer is from May to September, which is more of a dry season. The sun is out all the time, and the heat is constant. The river recedes, and more beaches and trails appear, making it the perfect time to visit waterfalls and patronize flotantes, which are floating bars. The last weekend of June marks the Parintins Festival, which celebrates Boi Bomba, a traditional culture and style of music, a 3-day-long party happening in the town of Parintins, an island in the Amazon, just a 1-day trip by boat from Manaus. This festival is rich in Amazon culture, and even in Manaus you can feel traces of it. In almost every home in Manaus, there are icons of the festival, as if it was a football team. End of Chapter 1. End of Tips 1 through 5.